We're still digesting Saturday a little bit, and if you would have told me that we'd hold one of the hottest quarterbacks in the country to 15 out of 30 for 150 yards and 2 interceptions, I'd have thought our chances of winning the game are pretty good. But we didn't do some things well enough, and we came out of that with a loss. So we've got to move on to Utah State and play better this week. I think they're a really good football team. If you look at the games they've lost to USC, to BYU, to Boise, I mean, they're a really good football team. So they're veteran. They've got 7 seniors and 3 juniors starting on the defensive side. They've got 7 seniors on the offensive side. They play hard. They look like they have good team speed. Just kind of a complete football team. So we're going to be challenged this week, really challenged this week, and we need to have a great week of preparation and get ready to go.
What is it about their defense that makes them so difficult?
Well, they're a 3-down front, and they tend to really like to pressure from a lot of different looks. They do a nice job of disguising and moving around. And, you know, the one thing that, to me, shows up generally when you're playing a team that likes to do that, they give up some big runs and get creased occasionally. And these guys don't. They do a pretty good job they do a real good job of knowing where everybody fits. And that probably has a lot to do with how veteran they are on that side of the ball. And they've all been playing it for a while. And, you know, they're just a real mature defense.
Do you expect them to take the similar tack that San Jose State took and go after your run game first, or do you think they're just going to play their defense?
I think they just do what they do, Mark. I don't think they're not like San Jose. I mean, they've been doing this for about 7 years, 6 or 7 or 8 years up there. So they're going to do what they do, and they do it really well.
Bobby, on the other side of the ball, how different is Utah State without Chucky Keaton at quarterback?
Well, you know, Keaton's a good player, and you know, he kind of was the guy that made it all click. But the freshmen come in and played really well. In fact, he set some freshman record for them last week, and you know, they're scoring points with or without Keaton. So you know, I don't think they may lean a little bit heavier on the run game than they did with Keaton in the game, but they still have the ability to throw it. I mean, 2 weeks ago they ran it for, I don't know what it was, some astronomical total. And then this past week they threw it for a whole bunch. So they're pretty balanced and have the ability to hurt you both ways.
You get kind of a sharks in the water mentality. I mean, do you make him beat you?
Well, I think part of that equation has to be the fact that I think they have the best offensive line in the conference. So it's a big challenge, you know. I think it's a big challenge for our guys on our offensive line to be as good as theirs. And I think it's a big challenge for our defensive front 7 to hold up against what I consider to be a really, really fine offensive line.
How much do you defensively, Bobby, want to see? I mean, I don't think we've seen a game this year where defensively you put together 2 good halves.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, Minnesota, we played pretty well. Western Illinois, we played pretty well. First quarter against Central Michigan was not good. Other than that, it was pretty good. And then you're pretty much the rest of the way. You're right on with that. So a complete game. Play well against both the run and the pass. And you know, frankly, you know, how we played the second half last week is kind of what we need to do for 60 minutes against Utah State if we have a hope of beating them this weekend.
And you kind of echo that, just talk about defensively. I mean, obviously haven't put together really 2 solid good halves on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, we've been that's really what we need to do is we need to start off the first half. We need to come out strong because, you know, in the second half we make adjustments, and it's usually where we're really strong in the second half. But if we can put together a first half like we do in the second, then we could really get rolling pretty good.
Bobby, 3 games to go. Do you guys talk about, obviously the fans, media are talking about this bowl eligibility. Do you talk about that? What is the approach been?
Yeah, we haven't really spent any time on that. Again, up to last weekend, it was more about staying in the race in the Mountain West, which is now, way uphill, being 2 back of Fresno. So, for us, it's always just about the week. All that other stuff takes care of itself. We just need to focus in and try to beat Utah State this Saturday and attack the week, win the week. You guys have heard me say that before, and so have the guys on our team.
Right, kind of same thing. I mean, just talk about 3 games to go. Obviously, I know you focus on the next one, but bowl eligibility is right there in your grasp for 3 games.
We want to try and win every game. I mean, we're not just looking at bowl eligibility. We want to go and approach every week like we want to win it. So it starts with 1, and that's exactly what we plan on doing. We got to go to work on this week and try our best.
Same thing, just talk about it.
Yeah, same thing. We're just we're just trying to win the rest of our season, and everything else comes along.
Do you worry about, Bobby, if it drags on, that maybe the players do think about it, press a little bit?
No, I don't. I mean, the film we're looking at, the discussion we're having, the meetings we have are all about Utah State. So, no, I don't worry about that. If we're good enough, we'll win enough.
I think, I don't remember if it was Caleb or Tim, I think it was Caleb that said that the team came out sluggish on Saturday. Do you think maybe that game cures that happening again?
I don't know that. I mean, every Saturday is different for every team in the country, not just us. I mean, you look at it, and if we all had a magic formula for having the preparation each week equal total perfect effort on every Saturday from the get-go, then we'd have something. But we just need to get ready to go this week. We can't control what happened a week ago. We can't let the week before that or the week before that affect it. And our preparation will be good this week. I think everybody here in this facility today is locked in and hopefully a little bit angry about the result on Saturday.
Bobby, what do you do differently? I think the last thing you said in that press conference after the game on Saturday was, "That's on me." The loss, the way the team played this. What do you do differently so that doesn't happen again?
Let's sleep. I don't know. We just keep grinding, keep working hard, correct the things that we didn't do well enough, and coach better, do a better job getting our guys prepared. And if a guy's out of his gap on defense, that's my fault. So I'm gonna get them in their gaps this week.
You talked about how strong their offensive line is. They hung with teams like USC, BYU. Do you think this is physically the strongest team you've played overall?
Yeah, I don't know what their weight room numbers are. I mean, that's kind of hard to tell off film, but I know they're good players, and they come off the ball and they get after people. So.
Are they a much different team without Keaton, or are they kind of doing the same stuff?
They do the same stuff. They haven't changed a bunch. I mean, they're running their offense, and as I said, the freshman kids come in and played really well.
Bobby, how's Tim Cornette? Is he 100%?
Well, nobody's 100%
Sure,
this
at this
time
point,
of year.
yeah,
That's how it is,
Yeah.
and in particular, a running back who's carried it as many times as he has over the last 2 months. I don't think anybody's 100%. Neither one of these guys is either, but. Tim will be ready to give 100% effort on Saturday, so he'll be ready to go.
This year, you've really relied on him.
We have.
Are you going to kind of give other backs more of an opportunity to take the load off him?
Well, we try to do that a little more early in the year, September, first half of October, as much as we feel we can. And, this time of year, it's, you get to November, it tends to be a little more, let's go till you can't, and then somebody else will do it. So it will be, odds are, less of a rotation.
The way it's been the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks have been kind of that way.
for both the players. Can I just get a few thoughts from you guys on Utah State? What little you've seen of them, or what little have you watched of these guys? What do you just?
They're a good team. They're physical, and I mean we're gonna have to match that. And that's something that we want to bring to the table is a physicality and effort, and I mean we're just gonna try and bang with them.
Oh, same with what Boyko just said. They're a good team. They have good players too, and come Saturday, we're just gonna have to try and make at least one more better play than they do to get that win.
Brett, based on what you've seen on tape, are they probably the best defense you have seen to this point?
They're definitely very physical, and they do some things like the stemming and stuff like that can get an offensive line jumping and stuff like that. So we just got to stay composed and once again just play physical.
You talking about playing two halves of football. What is it about this team that obviously comes out the second half and has that kick start? And how do you get that going at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, it's kind of a good question. Again, if I knew the answer to that one, we'd have the solution to it already. But it's a matter of I don't know exactly what it is. Is it we're too fired up to play and making mistakes one time? Is it another time that we aren't approaching each play with the urgency we need to execute it across the board? Is it one guy not playing well and getting out of a gap is what happened to us on defense on a couple occasions in the first half? Is it a guy on offense that gets his eyes wrong in protection and misses one on a blitz, and then we miss an opportunity on a drive and have to punt it? There's a lot of different things. So I obviously don't think it's any one thing, or else we'd fix that. But it really comes to everybody in the group saying, okay, I'm going to do my job as close to perfect as I can from the first play through the last. And if we can do that and have that as a point of emphasis and mindset on our team, then I think we have a chance.
We got talked about it all year long, and obviously winning helps. But what's different about this team than in years past? That they wouldn't have that fire, they wouldn't have that that drive to kind of flip that switch.
Two things. One, it's we're good enough to win, and our guys in our locker room know that. The second thing is the investment over the last couple of years has been great. The last probably 18 months, these guys have invested in. The more you invest of yourself, the harder it is to give in, and these guys have invested, so they're not going to give in. I mean, that's just not in their DNA at this point with this football team.
To the players, and I see you shaking your head, same thing. I mean, it's a different mentality, it seems, this year too.
Yeah, it's pretty much like what Coach Hauck just said. On top of that, coming off wins, the players know what it tastes like. So when you get that feeling, you keep wanting it, and that's where you tend to know how to win.
Coach, you've said in the past that you really haven't given the community much to cheer for or cheer about with the 2-win season and so forth. But now coming off that Reno game and that win, and then back home with a chance to become bowl eligible, and only 15,000 show up. What are your thoughts on that?
I just keep chipping away at it. I mean, that's what you do. We'll keep doing our part to win games, and I think the more people that come out to our stadium and see this team play, the more return. Because this team's good. They play football the way it's supposed to be played. They're entertaining in terms of both how they play and how the games transpire, and having a chance to succeed. And it's been 30 years here now. People have been stung. It takes some time for people to continue to buy in, but it's great to see those that came out, and it was a fun day in the stadium on Saturday until the final gun when the wrong team won.
Players kind of building off that a little bit. Listening to some of the guys post game, it sounded like there was just an extra level of disappointment after the game on Saturday, and it got me thinking maybe some of that had to do with the fact that you guys really wanted to put on a good show for the crowd back at home and show the people what UNLV was capable of. In that sense, is it almost like another chance having another home game right after that? That there's some semblance of a goodness about that, being able to get right back out there at home and kind of another chance at it.
I mean, anytime you lose a game, you can't wait to strap on the pads again on that next Saturday and play. And I mean, we did things positively in the second half, and obviously we ran out of time. We didn't do enough in the first half. Starting with myself, obviously I didn't do enough, but we want to strap on the pads. We want to play Saturday, and I mean, whether there's one person in the stands or 20-some thousand, we got to do what we got to do. So, I mean, it starts with us, and we got to get it going.
Penny, what about that? Like another chance at home to kind of show the home folks what this team's all about, and how the changes that this program's made.
Yeah, it's it feels good to play in the front of a home crowd who is actually supporting you out there. But when it comes down to it, it's we have one mission, which is a game that's ahead of us, and to go out there and fight to win it.
Did you sense an extra layer of disappointment after Saturday's loss, Brett, amongst the players?
I mean, we're disappointed after any time we lose. I mean, I think one of the main reasons why people were disappointed is we didn't start the way we wanted to, and that came back to bite us. So, I mean, yeah, you're disappointed after something like that happens.
Seems like following up on what Scott was saying, a couple of the players after said, the Arizona game, the Fresno game, this is one like the couple of the players were saying, hey, give San Jose State credit, but we kind of, this was one that got away.
I mean, they beat us. They played a total game, and we didn't. So, I mean, it's football. It's what happens, but we just got to take whatever positives and move forward.
Coach, you have any history with Utah State back in the day, or?
Not really. No, not really. I mean, we obviously played them last year and had a pretty good game up there against a team that won 11 last year, and we they had a couple of things they did. They hit us on a couple of big screens right at the end of the third quarter in a really tight game, and we had the ball down inside the 15-yard line a few times and didn't score, and that was kind of the difference in the game. So, that's enough history right there. Our guys should be hungry to go play this one.
Not back from your Montana days.
No,
Romney
I
Stadium.
spent a lot of time in Logan. Park City, maybe. I'm a skier. Park City's right down the road.
You don't go there on vacation?
No. I have not had the chance to do that yet. Probably will soon.
I don't know why you would. Cash Valley.
Is that it?
Stop.